reaction we got to this one. Whoo, I tell you, there's things going on in real estate. Hello, good afternoon. Hello and good afternoon and hello and good afternoon. Welcome to the Career Compass and C4. Today we have a huge crowd, and boy, I tell you, the reaction we got to the title of today's, hola everyone from Maria, okay, was amazing. And just so you'll know, I just said hello to Maria. This is live, okay? This is not some recording of some sales pitch or anything else like that. This is a live seminar we're going to be about today. And today we are going to be talking about exactly what NAR is doing, or should we say not doing, as well as what Zillow is doing. So those two things, the two biggest entities, the two biggest things changing your current life when it comes to real estate and affecting the future are NAR and Zillow. And what they've done in the past, in the recent past, I should say, is affecting you directly. So with that being said, hello and good afternoon once again. My name is Beef Wellington. Yes, like the food, Beef Wellington, like the fancy food you get on a cruise ship. Okay, when you grow up with the name Wellington Pendell II, people call you Beef Wellington, so get it out of your system. Hello, how are you? Now, I am from the Career Compass. If you have not heard of the Career Compass, we're going to take about 30 seconds to introduce us. But again, if you're in California, you haven't heard of the Career Compass, guys, you've been living under a rock or something, because we are the #1 training organization, #1 company, training realtors how to make sure they succeed in the future of real estate, because this business is not and will not be the way it's been for the last 30 to 40 years. This is changing. It has never changed so fast and so dramatically as right now. So real quick, let me go ahead and explain exactly who Career Compass is and what we're going to be doing today. Now, today, we're going to show you exactly what's going on with Zillow, exactly what they're doing, and exactly what's going on with the National Association of Realtors, because in my opinion, again, this is based on the opinion of the Career Compass. They are not doing what they should be doing to represent realtors. In fact, in my opinion, they're doing the opposite. Let me ask you a quick question right up front here. Okay, and you can just put it in the comments. Again, you open your comment box, folks. We're going to want you to comment on this. Okay, especially some of our awesome guests. Go ahead and open up your box right up here, your comment box, and just answer yes or no. Do you feel represented by NAR? NAR. Go ahead, yes or no. Just go ahead and type it in. Okay. Nope. No kidding. Okay, because they're not doing what we should be doing. Okay, I have not seen one yes yet. So we're going to tell you exactly what's going on next. We're going to actually give you some tools today that you can use right now today to counter what Zillow is doing in taking your business. And number 3, we're going to show you what hundreds of agents, if not thousands, have experienced over the last 13 years with the Career Compass. The Career Compass has 27,000 members in the state of California. That makes us larger than almost any training organization out there, bigger than any single board, et cetera, et cetera. So this is the community of realtors that everybody is part of, and you need to be part of it as well. All right. Now, as a reminder, guys, just so you'll know right up front, this is not going to be some hour-and-a-half long webinar with some huge sales pitch at the end. Nothing like that. Nothing for $1,000, nothing for hundreds of dollars, nothing like that. We're going to only show you at the end for about 5 minutes exactly what thousands of realtors have experienced over the last 13 years in the state of California, and what they are doing, what hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of agents are doing right now to make sure they succeed in the future. All right. So as far as an introduction goes, the Career Compass, we do a live seminar and we have a C4 program. Here's what it is. We've been rated the #1 best value in the history of real estate in the state of California for real estate training. Best value out there. I mean, people say, how does Career Compass even do this? It's amazing. #1 most entertaining seminar. What do you think of that? Huh? You want to be bored? Not around here, you won't be. Hey, best way to renew your license through our third-party affiliate company. Talk about easy and fast, right? Highest customer satisfaction rate of any California seminar in the history of California, #2. Number 1 rated value in coaching and mentoring. And 27,000 members and counting, and you are probably one of them already. And if you're not, don't worry. It's easy to join. Okay. Also, most of the comments we get is this training, this seminar, this program is more than I ever thought it would be. And that's what we go for. How can Career Compass do this? Like I mentioned before, managers say, my gosh, I wish all of my agents could hear this. 97% of the people who've either been to our live seminar or a part of our online C4 program, 97% say it's either some of the best or the best training on how to be successful in real estate they've ever had. So with that being said, let me tell you exactly what Career Compass does. We teach realtors, why we're number one, we teach realtors tools, techniques, systems, and processes that most coaches and managers have never even heard of before, let alone the realtors. And you can only get it from us. Things like the 7% technique, the EAT, the PAT, the lawyer letter, things like the deal a week technique. I mean, unbelievable tools and techniques that most people go, my God, I've never even heard of this stuff before. That's what we do. And it's stuff that now you must have if you're going to be part of the future of real estate. Because I got news for you, folks. Having 3% or lower interest rates is not going to last forever. And listing a house just because the interest rates are really great is not a strategy for the success of real estate. In fact, Zillow, Opendoor, and all the iBuyers have made plans to make sure that even if that is the case, they still going to be able to put you out of business. And I'm going to show it to you today. All right. So with that being said, imagine this. Okay, I want you to just imagine something. For those of you who don't know what Career Compass is, imagine an online and in-person realtor community, almost like a board, gee whiz, realtor community. And you have monthly mentoring sessions with some of the greatest real estate trainers in the history of California, best. Monthly sessions with people who have been the #1 realtors in their area. Some of them have been the best realtors of all time. Imagine that live, man, getting coached by them live, okay? The ability to have one-on-one sessions with master coaches, a yearly complete review of all your business, making sure you're ready to go, the #1 video library of tools and techniques in the history of California, actual referrals to your business, actual referrals, okay? Improved Google standings, okay? And your DRE and NAR car absolutely done with the most painless, easiest, fastest way known, okay? And yearly parties of all these people at 5-star locations like Vegas and Sacramento and San Diego and all these kind of stuff with none of the cost of things that you've done in the past. Imagine that. If that sounds at all good to you, stick around for the entire time. We're going to blow your mind. All right, let's talk about you and the future of real estate. Here we go. Now, I'm going to say something right up front here, okay? I'm going to spend about 5 minutes explaining exactly why the title of this talk is exactly what it is. Okay, I'm going to say something that no trainer has ever said in California before, or in the United States. Relationships are no longer going to be the most important thing in real estate. Yep, I said it. There you go. I'm going to go ahead and walk over here and then walk over here for dramatic effect. Here we go. Okay. Yeah, I said it. Here's why. For 40 to 50 years in this industry, you want to know why trainers and other people said, well, you got to have relationships. They're so important. Here's why. Because for 40 or 50 years, you had to have a realtor. So guess which one you go to? The one that you have a relationship with. However, if your customers, your database, people buying and selling houses, if they had other options other than the realtor they know, would they go with them? Yes, they would. And they're doing it. Zillow proved it. Opendoor is proving it. So real estate relationships are no longer the most important thing. They're important to get you through the door. But what's going to make all the difference in your career for the next 10 years and beyond is the value you bring on top of the relationship. You're probably like, Wellington, gee whiz, I bring lots of value. Do you? Let's test that right now, shall we? Because you're thinking, well, I put the house in the MLS and I put 2.5% on it. So I have a sign, I bring value. Your value is now free and Zillow is proving it. 3 questions. Number 1, in this group, can you tell me exactly, if you're doing a listing presentation for me, can you tell me exactly what an iBuyer is? Can you? Okay, 90% of you cannot. Most of you go, well, iBuyers and discounters are the same thing. They could not be more different. Number 2, if you're able to tell me what those 2 things are, can you tell me the difference between, say, like Opendoor and Rex? Can you tell me the differences between those companies? Most of you cannot do that. And the 3rd thing, the entire thing, this is your entire career right now. And by the way, folks, I know I talk fast. If I talk too fast, just listen quicker. Okay. Ready for this? Now, 3rd question, can you numerically on a piece of paper or the spreadsheets that we give you, by the way, the people who say, yes, I can, probably Career Compass members, the spreadsheets we give you, can you show me numerically how you put more money in my pocket than an iBuyer who's quote unquote doing it for free or any other realtor? Can you show me how you can do that? If the answer is yes, you're probably a Career Compass member and you're probably ready for the future. If the answer is no, you are literally the blockbuster of real estate and you are going to be gone. That's how important this is. So with that being said, let me show you our value, shall we? Ready? In San Diego, one of the major, yeah, Chuck Simons can definitely, been to the seminar more times than I've been there. Okay? One of the major counties in the state of California, I'm going to show you their CBB. You know what the CBB is? Okay, cooperating buyer broker, basically the buyer's agent commission. Ready? Here it is. Here's up to 40% of the listings in San Diego County. This is just an example. It's the same thing is happening in Marin County, in Sacramento County, and Los Angeles County, and Orange County. Look at this. 1.5% commission on the buying side. Where's our value? It's going down daily because what we keep doing is we keep trying to compete with Zillow on their playing field instead of ours. Watch this. And by the way, many listings are basically, the total commission is just cut in half, meaning half on the listing side, half on the buy side, which means that this listing, in many cases, might be a 3% listing. Where in the heck is our value? It's gone. And realtors, okay, are cutting their value, and customers know it. I mean, most sellers are out there, well, I could just stand in front of my house and say my house is for sale and get 10 offers. You're right, they could. So where's our value? You have to bring value that other realtors do not bring. You must do that. Now, Zillow and Open Door Redfin are normalizing iBuying. We'll get to that later on. Okay, here's a quote that many people are saying these days. You can use a realtor, right? But that's the old way of selling or buying a house. Now you can do it all online. That is the death of this industry right there. Right? Zillow's now a brokerage. They're now part of the IDX. They're part of the MLS. They have their own agents. They're now part of NAR and CAR. Yeah. And they just bought Showing Time. So you have an association at this point that literally has turned its back on you. That's why when I ask that question up here, no. And you're paying NAR and CAR to basically turn their back on you. Now, let me show you exactly what's going on. Is this the beginning of the end? Question for you, okay? Will you retire from this business a millionaire? Okay, because here's the other thing, the other trend that's going on. For people that have the knowledge to do so, many agents, we have more people using the 7% technique than ever in the history of real estate. If you are out there and you do not know what I'm talking about, if you do not know what the 7% technique, you are literally walking away from the number one way of doing listing presentations that will decimate any iBuyer and destroy your competition right there at the listing presentation. And also, the 7% technique is the only technique that I've ever heard of that actually allows you to do this. I want to ask everybody out there, you ever heard of this? A commission override clause. Ever heard of that? If you know what a commission override clause is that goes in the notes section, additional comment section, or remarks section of your contract, guess what? You've been to the Career Compass because nobody else teaches it. Okay? Nobody else teaches. Now, with that being said, let me ask you this. Ready? Tasha and Tony Veruvitas, just an example, implemented into their business the 7% technique in 18 months ago. And I just got an update from Tony. They're on their 14th listing. 14th listing. That's 7% against agents who are cutting their commission to 5, 4, and sometimes 3. Yet these customers are going with Tony and Tasha at 7%. I wonder why. Can you do that? They've also implemented something we call the lawyer letter, which is a whole nother technique out of the 112 techniques that the Career Compass teaches. I just got a copy of the voicemail from Judy Ford Esquire saying this: Tony and Tasha, I just got your well-written letter. Please come into my office anytime you'd like. I'd love to make an appointment with you to discuss what you call the reciprocal referral relationship between your brokerage and my office, or your business and my office. I have at least a dozen referrals every single year of people that need to buy or sell property, and I would love to refer them to you. By the way, your letter was very, very good. And by the way, they didn't write the letter. Career Compass did. All you got to do is put your name at the bottom, the lawyer's name at the top, and send it out. Brilliant stuff, okay? These folks will be millionaires inside 5 years. As well as Ralph Muncaster, who wanted to get into Carlsbad. Check this out. Implemented the 7% technique 5 years ago on his first $2 million listing. First listing ever on a $2 million house. Okay, over the last 5 years, he's listed 30 properties in Carlsbad that were more than $2 million, all at 7%. Check this out. In December 2019, he came to our seminar and showed the flyer to the crowd of his most recent $2.35 million Carlsbad listing that was 8% commission. And we're the only ones teaching that. Can you do that? If you're part of Career Compass, you can do that. All right. Now, tools and techniques, systems, processes. Let's talk about these guys. Let's talk about these guys. Let's talk about these guys. This is us right here. All right. National Association of Realtors, Zillow, and Showing Time. I can't talk about NAR without talking about Zillow, because in my opinion, those two are basically holding hands these days, if not more. So let's go ahead and go over exactly what the newest results of what NAR is doing. Now, I want to go ahead and preface this by saying this. Zillow is a brokerage. They're competing directly against you. They have an IDX direct feed. So even if you put no on the IDX at the end of your listing, it still goes to them. And they can still market with your information. Number four, okay, they have their own agents now. So much for all you premier agents out there. Do you think they're going to give the listings to you or them? Good question. And number five, they actually just bought a company that allows them to do what they're doing, which is acquiring real estate. Now, hold on a second. Let me explain what Zillow is doing, which basically goes into what NAR is doing. Zillow is in what's called acquisition mode. They are acquiring the control or the ownership of property. Then they bought Showing Time as an attempt to control the buy side. But before I get into that, let me show you, instead of stopping that, which by the way violates almost every single rule we've got, let me show you what NAR is doing just recently instead of representing you just like everybody just said they were. Ready? Here we go. This is factual only. Now, before I get into this, is Connie Lynch on the call? Connie, could you unmute yourself and say hello? She on there? All right, if she logs on, please let me know.
Hello,
okay.
Keith.
Oh,
hello.
Connie Lynch. Now, we have a very special guest. And we always want to go ahead and be very fair, okay? Connie Lynch is the CEO of SR-CAR, okay? The Southwest Riverside Association of Riverside County Association of Realtors. And she's agreed to come on because she is the CEO of a local board, okay, right there in Temecula. And we would like to have her comments after I show this. So we're very fair about this. Career Compass is not just, you know, the company that brings you all of the stuff that nobody else talks about, okay? Like the 800-pound gorilla in the room, like can Zillow become the MLS? And I will talk about that today for you, so don't go anywhere. But we also want to be fair because this is controversial stuff. It really, really is, okay? So if we're going to be the company that talks about the 800-pound gorilla in the room, we want to give both sides. So after I go through the next couple of slides, I'm going to ask Connie Lynch to go ahead and give us her comments on it. Because in my opinion, Zillow is doing, NAR is doing the exact opposite of what they should be doing at this point, but we want to get both sides. So Connie, please stand by. We're going to get to you in just a second. And by the way, thank you so much for being here. You are awesome. Okay. Love that lady, by the way. She's awesome. Guys, if you're not part of SR-CAR and you're in the Riverside area, we're really a fantastic lady, good organization. They do a good job. Okay, now, here we go. Inman, okay? This came out last week. Okay, today's Tuesday. This came out last Friday. Religion is no safe harbor. NAR rules in controversial hate speech policy. Now, instead of reading all this to you, let me go ahead and just summarize basically what it says. So this is the newest Inman article about what NAR is spending your dues doing and worrying about. Ready? Now, as realtors, publicly stated interpretations of religious scripture can violate the Realtor Code of Ethics. This is straight from that. This is basically the blurbs right from that article. Okay, so why don't you go ahead and read this, okay? According to the case interpretations approved by a committee of the National Association of Realtors. So let me just say this real quickly. Realtors, publicly stated interpretations. That means what you say in public, and doesn't have to be at the board, doesn't have to be during a transaction, anytime, anywhere. You could be at the grocery store, okay? And as a realtor, if you say something that offends somebody, it falls under NAR's interpretations of the Code of Ethics, okay? Now, let me just go ahead and read this one more time. I'm gonna get to the next bit. A realtor's publicly stated, your First Amendment right, okay? Publicly stated interpretations of religious, so the way that you interpret religious scripture. Now, I am not a Bible beater or anything else like that. I'm not promoting religion, but I'm not just talking about religion. They're just using that as an excuse. It could be their interpretations of politics. It could be interpretations of the election. It could be interpretations of the governor. Okay, this word right here is incidental. This could be anything. You could replace this word with governor, elections, politics, gender, okay, any gender, sexuality, any hot button thing, okay, that's out there, anything, Okay, so when it comes to any of the things that we all talk about on social media, add that word to any of it. A realtor's publicly stated interpretations of anything, okay, can violate the realtor code of ethics. That's what they're saying. Because if your religious rights are not protected, your rights on anything are not protected. I got news for you. Okay, according to a case interpretations approved by the Committee of the National Association of Realtors. Now, let's say this. Ready? Here's what the policy says in particular. The policy standard of practice 10.5, which means Article 10 of the Code of Ethics. Okay, the policy standard of practice 10.5 reads as follows: quote unquote. Realtors must not use harassing speech, hate speech, epithets, or slurs based on race, color, religion, sex, handicap, familial status, national origin, sexual orientation, or gender identity. Okay? Now, on its face, that sounds fine. But here's my problem with this. Here's Career Compass's problem with this. Realtors must not use blank, all this stuff. According to who? Whose standard? Who is setting the standard for what is hate speech? Who is setting the standard for you? Because this affects your license. You can lose your license because of this. Okay? Ready? Who is setting the standard for what hate speech is? What harassing speech is? I mean, if I say hello to you in a tone you don't like, have I harassed you? According to this, I have. Okay? Hate speech, epithets, or slurs based on race. What's the definition of a slur, and who is setting that standard? Now, all this other stuff is just the protected classes you can't do this stuff to, which I have no problem with. That's fine. You can have as many of these as you want. But the point is this: realtors must not use harassing speech, hate speech, epithets, or slurs. Once again, I'm going to say this again. According to who? Who sets the standard for what that is? The point is there is no standard. So anything you say, if it hurts somebody's feelings, could fall under this definition. This is communism 101 right here. Ready? So here's what this means. Ready? Your entire career, the business that you've built, your license and everything else, everything that you say, okay, your entire career, your business, your brokerage, your board, okay, is in the hands of anyone, not just another realtor, anyone who may get their feelings hurt by something you say. So now anything that you say could be subject to it hurt my feelings, and that's harassment speech, that's hate speech, which, by the way, just so you'll know right now, is completely contrary to the First Amendment of the Constitution of the United States. I know this sounds controversial. Hate speech is protected speech. Yes, it is. Look it up. Because who's to establish what hate speech is and against what group? There is no standard. Look that up. I know I just pissed off a lot of people. Guess what? Welcome to Career Compass. Here's the most hideous part of this. It doesn't matter. Ready? I want everybody to hear this. It doesn't matter what you say. It only matters how the other person, only thing that matters is how the other person interprets it. Do you understand what I just said? So doesn't matter what you say. Again, I can say, hello, have a nice day. Well, I interpreted that as, you don't like rainy days or you don't like cloudy days. It's a nice day. Okay? If I said, gee, I hope your day goes well. Well, does that mean you don't want it to go super or excellent or fantastic? Okay. My point is, the most hideous part of this is it doesn't matter what you say. It matters how the other person interprets it. Ready? So here's the bottom line. You are now responsible for not only what you say being a violation of some undefined standard, because the standard is undefined. I just wrote you. I just showed you the standard. There is no standard. It's just harassing speech. An undefined standard of conduct. But more importantly, you are responsible for how anybody might have heard and interpreted it. There you go. Okay. If a guy says his opinion of religious scripture, he lost that case. That pastor lost, the pastor/realtor lost the case, and he was found in violation of Article 10. That sets one heck of a precedent. on what you can do and what you can say. Anything you say at any time for anybody can cost you your license. Tell me I'm wrong. Please explain to me how I'm wrong. Now, this is all happening. Ready? This is all happening while Zillow, and I'm going to show you this in writing in about 10 minutes, in writing, knowingly, blatantly, and openly violates the Code of Ethics, Article 16, which is marketing to other people's listings, which they're doing right now to your listings, okay? By marketing to your listings with no action on the part of NAR. They've done nothing. If they have, please tell me what they've done, because I haven't heard a thing. So what NAR is doing right now is spending financial resources. You send them to find you guilty of hate speech while ignoring the violations of Zillow.
Okay. So let me just respond, because you go really fast, and I want to respond to each sentence you bring up.
Okay.
First of all, I'd like to say to everybody, it's a shame that we're in 2021 and we have to have Article 10.5. It's a shame. We shouldn't have hate speech. Nobody should have it. But anybody who does do hate speech, which I have had members who've had hate speech directed to them that are real, 15 years ago, we couldn't do anything about it. We had a member who came out, and another member found out and wrote disparaging things about this person. And 15 years ago, I had no teeth to do anything about it. Hate speech is an interpretation, you're absolutely correct, but everybody's entitled to a hearing. If somebody files something of hate speech, they first have to prove it was done, and then they're entitled to a hearing. I don't believe CAR can't take away your license, by the way. Only the Department of Real Estate can do that. Regardless if you have 10 hearings with me, CAR cannot remove your license. Only Department of Real Estate. Also, can you go back a slide?
Okay. How far back do you want me to go?
Go back one more. Not their feelings hurt. Anybody can have their feelings hurt. That doesn't entitle them to hate speech or a hearing. Keep going back. We'll keep going because I've lost that train of thought. Oh, Zillow. Zillow, by the way. NAR cannot stop anybody from getting a broker's license or corporation, doesn't matter who you are, although Zillow always said out the gate they would never do it, but that line came over the mountain. But NAR can't stop them from becoming a real estate office. Neither can CAR or Department of Real Estate.
Okay.
I just want to put that out to you.
Okay. Well, let me go ahead, and I appreciate those comments very, very much. So let me go ahead and retort to those. And in many cases, this is very, very correct. However, when you say it's a shame that in 2021, we have hate speech. Of course, it's a shame that we have hate speech in 2021. But you know what? When I was a child, my parents taught me sticks and stones can hurt you. Sticks and stones can break your bones.
True.
Words can never hurt me. We have lost that. That's no longer the case. Now, words can actually hurt me. I got news for you, okay? Words cannot hurt me, Beef Wellington. There's no words that anybody can utter that can hurt me. Here's why. For your words to hurt me, I have to value your opinion. So if you're going to say something disparaging about me, I don't value your opinion. Number two, okay? If somebody gets offended by my words, okay, here's what they're telling me. They're telling me that just my words can control their mind. No one can control my mind with their words, not a chance. So if you're going to tell me, and I'm not saying you, Connie, I'm talking about people in general. Yeah. If people are going to tell me, oh, your words hurt me in some way, shape, or form, you're just basically told me that I have control over your mind. Well, this is going to be an interesting day then. So there's the first thing. Now, the second thing you said is that the same thing they take is that Zillow, NAR cannot stop Zillow from becoming a brokerage. And no one said they could. Yeah. My problem is not that NAR has become a brokerage, or excuse me, Zillow has become a brokerage. That's not my problem. My problem is that Zillow is blatantly, and I'll show it to you in a minute, okay, as soon as we get going here on the slides, blatantly violating Article 16, which means you cannot market to other people's listings. I don't mind them being a brokerage. In fact, I'm fine. Let them be a brokerage.
So that's not true. Every agent, every brokerage can have a link to the MLS to advertise everybody's listings on their website. Everybody does that, not just Zillow.
Hold on. Let me fast forward then. Ready? Let me fast forward. Ready for this? Now, let me keep going. Ready? A Seattle realtor put her own listing on the MLS, okay? I want everybody to see this.
This I've heard.
Okay.
This happened to me personally. Beef, this happened to me personally.
Okay, all right, hold on. I know everybody's got a comment. I love this. This is great, guys. This is the kind of stuff Career Compass brings. If you are not a Career Compass member, guys, this is what you're missing. All right, with that being said, check this out. Zillow is marketing in this, and Connie, tell me if this is legal, okay? She puts her own house on the market, okay? Zillow reaches out to the owner by email, offering their assistance in determining whether her agent was the right choice, okay? And offering tips on how to change realtors. Is that a violation of Article 16?
That is a huge violation, and Seattle realtors that realtor should have filed a complaint with their state association. That is a huge violation, absolutely. Okay. But unless you police your own industry and you file an actual complaint, there's nothing anybody can do. That's one of the #1 problems we have.
Thank you. Exactly correct. Exactly correct. Now, let me ask, and Connie, ask anybody else here. If that realtor made a complaint, what do you think CAR and NAR is going to do against Zillow, the most powerful entity in the history of CAR and NAR?
Absolutely nothing.
No, that's not true. That's not true. There's no difference.
Absolutely true.
It is true. My daughter is actually a buyer. I represented her as the buyer's agent. We went and looked at a Zillow home. We registered her as a buyer of this property, and Zillow called her.
Okay, so did you file a complaint with the association that Zillow belongs to?
I filed a complaint with my local association. That was 3 months ago.
Now, hold on. Let me pause, everybody. I want you guys to hear this. Okay, ready? This is a cut and paste. I'm gonna read this to you. This is a cut and paste from a Zillow email to somebody who is currently have a house listed with a realtor. Ready? Realizing your current agent isn't getting the job done can be disheartening, even if you have a signed contract. The good news is many sellers end up changing their real estate agents for one reason or another, even if the contract hasn't expired. But both parties must be willing to leave amicably. There's a right way and a wrong way to let your agent know that things aren't working out. And then Zillow offers reasons to change your agent. Lack of communication, lackluster marketing, and unreliable and unavailable. This is happening right now. Is that a violation of the Code of Ethics?
Yes, that is a violation of the Code of Ethics.
That's a cut and paste.
Hello.
I don't know what association Zillow belongs to. They're not my member.
Zillow belongs to every association. Do you not think that this is a subject? Hold on. This is a subject for NAR. Shouldn't NAR be taking this up, because this is happening in every market? What is NAR doing?
It has to go to your local association first.
That is
whoever.
Sorry, but if that's the case, then we deserve to get what we're getting. If we're that pathetic, if we have to work it this way, if this isn't something that gets NAR's attention, then they shouldn't be in existence.
Well, there are certain guidelines you have to follow in order to file a complaint.
So in other words, we're inundated by red tape and rules, while Zillow takes our business from us, and NAR basically worries about their rules. This is what I'm talking about. So when we title this, why we need to cancel NAR or get them to represent us, this is what I'm talking about. Now, I've got one more for you. Ready for this? Now, I'm going to show you a text string. Okay, for everybody here, I'm going to show you a text string. I mean, you all love text, right? Of a request for a showing of what Zillow thinks is a buyer wanting to see one of their own houses, one of the houses that Zillow has purchased or controls by the listing. Watch this, okay? This is an actual text string. I'm gonna read this to you. Hi, this is Meredith from Zillow, talking to who she thinks is a buyer. Got your showing request for today at 24010 Doverick Drive. I'd be happy to see if an agent can make it to the home at a mutually convenient time. So in other words, she thinks this is a buyer. And she's saying, we'll be able to send a listing agent from our side, because we're the listing agents, okay? We're the owner of the house, out to see you within an hour of making this request. Ready? Before I do you have a buyer's agent that you're committed to? So in other words, they're looking to double-end it, which I don't blame them for. But watch this next text. I am an agent. Ready? I want everybody to see this. If you're texting, if you're talking to somebody, set it down. This is your career right here. Watch this. I am an agent. Her response, Meredith's response from Zillow is, thanks for letting me know. Unfortunately, this home is unavailable for tour at this time. You want to talk about a violation of the Code of Ethics? How about that one? There you go. So it's available if you don't have an agent. Now, ready? Let me check this out. You wonder why Zillow bought showing time. Ready? Check this out. Zillow is in a looking to acquire property, either through one of three things. Number one, just buying it outright from the seller. Number two, listing it as a brokerage. And number three, getting your listings through what we just showed they were doing to that Seattle agent and many other. So they're acquiring property. So when they control or acquire property, they now have showing time, which makes you are forced to go through showing time to schedule. They say, you want to see one of our controlled houses, our owned or controlled houses? You got to make you got to make an appointment through showing time. Then, if you're an agent, they tell you, sorry, not going to happen. No available times. Now, if they're violating the rules on the front side, what makes you think they're not going to violate the rules on the back side? So in other words, here's what happens. In showing time, in many cases, you've got to put your buyer's information into showing time, don't you? So guess what? Zillow has that information. Now contact your buyer and say this, oh, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, did your big bad agent not able to schedule a showing for you on this house that you really want to buy? Well, guess what? Go ahead and drop your buyer's agent. Come straight to Zillow. You'll be able to see the house in an hour, and we'll make your offer a priority. How is this not what they're going to do? And once again, violation or no of the Code of Ethics. We all know on this call, and I want Connie to chime in here. We all know that NAR and CAR are going to do nothing to Zillow for violating the rules. It's going to be like the United Nations. Stop. Not going to do anything, and we all know it. And even if they even did do something, it'd be a small fine, like $2,500. You really think that Zillow, a $31 billion company, is going to stop doing what it's doing to control this industry for a $2,500 fine? I don't think so. I don't think so. Now, here's what many of you are thinking. Many of you are thinking, well, Wellington, we'll just go ahead and sue them. This email right here basically says, okay, NAR and CAR are going to have to sue on behalf of realtors because of these violations. Here's our response to this email. I'll read it to you. Ready? This is Career Compass's response. Juan, you are 100% correct. NAR and CAR would have to sue Zillow on behalf of the broker who owns the listing and the rules that govern that transaction. Ready? However, the problem is that Zillow is simply breaking the rules of a club. That's all it is, folks. NAR and CAR is a club. They have no regulatory authority of any kind. Connie just said it. And I want to get back to the license thing in a minute, by the way. Okay. This is not illegal. That is why it's so hideous. A court will probably not uphold our rules because they're not breaking the law, they're breaking our rules. And punish Zillow. Only NAR and CAR can punish Zillow via our rules, which would require Zillow to agree that they broke the rules and allow NAR to fine them, which they'll never do. Now, so basically, we can't sue Zillow because they're only breaking rules. They're not breaking laws. Now, I want to get back to the license thing. True or false? Okay, Connie, I want you to get your opinion on this. Okay, everybody out there, true or false? The national, state, and local boards can petition the Department of Real Estate to revoke a license of a realtor based on the violation of the Code of Ethics, which is very similar, if not exactly the same, as the Code of Ethics at the DRE? Yes or no?
I would have to talk to CAR's legal team. I don't know if they can do that, to be honest with you.
Well, I've heard from some pretty reliable sources that they can, because the Code of Ethics for NAR and CAR are very, very similar to the Code of Ethics when you get your license at the DRE. So now, if NAR and CAR really wanted to, sorry,
DRE doesn't have a Code of Ethics. They don't have a Code of Ethics. They monitor your business, not your Code of Ethics. Code of Ethics comes from NAR.
Okay, so the DRE has no standard of conduct.
Standard of conduct, but it's not a Code of ethics. It's
Okay,
a business standard of conduct.
But could NAR and CAR
standard.
petition the DRE in that state?
You know what? I'll ask Joel Singer. Let me ask him. Let me find out what they can actually do.
I would love to hear from Joel Singer. I would love to hear from that guy. Okay? Have Joel Singer give me a call. I'll give you my cell phone, 619-840-WELL, as in Wellington, W-E-L-L, 619-840-WELL.
I know he's one of your besties, but let me find out.
I'm sure he just loves me. Sure he loves me. I love him too. I really do. As much as Wayne Bell, the old commissioner. Now, when it comes to the commissioner of real estate, the DRE and NAR and CAR, let's not make any excuses here. We all know that relationship is as tight as the Teamsters is with the Department of Transportation. Okay, Wayne Bell spoke at probably a dozen car conventions during the time that he was commissioner of the DRE. Okay, we all know this. In fact, one of the talks that he had was all about Career Compass and how we are devil worshippers and we howl at the moon. All of it completely and totally wrong and completely erroneous. Completely. Everything he said was untrue. Anyway, so we understand the association between those two companies, between NAR and CAR and the DREs. The DRE many times does exactly what NAR and CAR wants. And we all know it. So there you go. Now.
You're probably right.
Okay, well, I want everybody to see this, okay? Yeah. Well, Phil, you just said beef for cardboard. Yeah, I would love that. Feel free, vote me in. I'd love it. Okay. I want to show you a 1-minute video that basically shows exactly what I've been saying, coming straight from the CEO of Zillow, Richard Barton.
And I basically likened the transition, the kind of market.
Hold on, let me back up for you here. So I got to adjust. Let me adjust the volume real quick here. All right.
And I basically likened the transition, the kind of market expansion that Zillow is going through right now, where we've got this huge, profitable incumbent business with this trusted brand. And we're saying, all right, there is a technology disruption happening, and we've got to be the ones to build the bridge across the chasm and get to the other side. And that's why we are going so hard and so aggressively, but in a prudent way, at the new opportunity, and it's going extremely well.
Do you think even further a step forward about other avenues you could go into with mortgages, other aspects?
Yeah, it turns out that the house transaction is the hub of a series of really big, important, and potentially profitable transactions. Getting the mortgage, the title, the escrow, moving, telecommunication services, all this happens and changes and is keyed off of the house transaction. And we are making investments in most of these businesses, specifically mortgages, title, and escrow right now, and creating an integrated digital platform so that one day, the dream is that we dream one day of you having kind of almost a trade-in experience with your house, where you're standing in a house, a Zillow offers house that we own. You've been there 15 times. You've let yourself in with the Zillow app. We know who you are and where you live. We've already have a mortgage ready to go. We have an offer ready for your house when you're ready to transact, and you, with one click, can decide to move.
Let me tell you what he just said. He just told you exactly what he's going to do to you. This was 1 year ago. He said, there's a technology disruption. You know what a technology disruption is? You being put out of business. And it's going extremely well. In other words, what's going extremely well? Exactly what he did to the travel agent industry, which has put them completely out of business. It's going extremely well. This is the enemy right here. And this is the company that NAR and CAR just welcomed into the club. Come on in, guys. Come on in. Okay? Violate our rules and we'll do nothing. Now, the other thing he said is you're standing at a Zillow-owned house. When he says you, he doesn't mean us, agents. He means a buyer. Standing at a Zillow-owned house. You've been there 15 times, he said. We already have a mortgage ready for this house. We already have an offer on your existing house. And you've let yourself in. You've let yourself in with the Zillow app. So in other words, there's no buyer's agent either. So in other words, there's no listing agent, no buyer's agent. And with one click, you can trade your house in. There it is right out of his mouth. We have the mortgage, the title, the escrow, the home warranty, the moving companies, the telecommunications. It's all right there, the entire thing. So there's no listing agent, no buyer's agent, no CAR, no NAR, no MLS, no need for title, no need for escrow. They have their own. No need home warranty, communications, moving says everything is right there in a complete takeover of the industry. And this is the company that's now the most powerful entity in Chicago at the voting table, voting on policies you have to go along with. Do you think they're going to vote in your behalf or theirs? Gee, I wonder. And how are they doing this? How are they making sure that your customers know that they should never use you? Here's how.
When Zillow buys your home, life gets a little less stressful because you can sell without repairs and choose your closing date, giving you more time for the things you love. Visit Zillow to request your free offer.
You just thought two things. Number one, you thought that this right here, you can sell your house without repairs for top dollar. They never said that, but you thought it, and so did your customers. The second thing that you thought is this is commission free because he took his primary brain, I should say his cell phone, and clicked it. That's how much money I get. That's not true at all either, but that's what the customer thinks. So that's what Zillow is doing to let them know that realtors are a thing of the past. Here's what Open Door is doing.
Selling your house is hard. Selling it to Open Door, that's easy. All you have to do is go to opendoor.com and you'll get a competitive offer in just a few steps. So, what do you think? Well, I'm sold. We're sold. Get your free offer at opendoor.com.
Another 15 seconds letting you, first thing they said is selling your house is hard. Why would you use a realtor? It's so hard. These days, everybody wants something easy, right? Of course. So just call Open Door and we'll make you a cash offer. There, another 15 seconds letting your customers know. Those are the two biggest iBuyers in the entire country, Open Door and Zillow. And by the way, Open Door right here, see this company right here? The Career Compass. You want to talk about really doing things for the real estate industry? You want to really talk about what your association is not doing, okay? And what CAR and NAR is not doing, and what Career Compass is doing? We are the only company, the only entity in the history of real estate in the entire United States to have Open Door, the biggest iBuyer in 2019, before the pandemic, on our stage at our Career Compass seminars 3 times for a debate. No, not so they can sponsor us so we can say, oh, they're a really good company. No, we're not going to pull a Tom Ferry here. Just so you'll know, by the way, Tom Ferry is one of the biggest stockholders in Zillow. So we actually debated them and we demolished them right on stage 3 times. No other company's ever done that. Some of you were there. It was pretty awesome. Now, this is Simon Raskoff. That's Spencer Raskoff. Hey, sorry, Simon Raskoff. And this is Richard Barton. Richard Barton fired him 3 years ago. And ever since then, everything that Zillow has done, in my opinion, is a takeover of this industry. Inman actually says Zillow's trajectory is similar to Netflix. Now, if Zillow is Netflix, who's Blockbuster? Yeah, us. Exactly. And by the way, here's what happened. Don Johnson in the comments section said relationship businesses will always continue to win the day. Will they really, Don Johnson? Okay. Mike Kitchen said, bingo, there will always be disruptors, but in the end, relationships will win. I disagree. And I'm the only trainer in the United States that disagrees with that. But I can prove it to you right here. Here's why. Relationships will not win. Value will win. Let me show you. Many of you in Temecula know a nice lady named Kelly Malone. Okay. Kelly Malone is a broker, owner, and manager of Reliable Real Estate right here in Temecula, California. She's got about 50 agents. Now, 5 years ago, Kelly Malone got married to her fiance. Now, in the wedding, his best friend, Joe, was in the wedding, okay? So here's the wedding dress. They're getting ready, and these guys are ready to, okay? Husband, best man. Now, let me ask you a quick question. Would you consider this best man in her wedding, her husband's best friend, to be part of her database, someone that she can rely on having a relationship with? Well, here's what happened, okay? Here's what happened. About 4 years after the wedding, 1 year ago, Joe calls Kelly on the phone. And by the way, you can give her a call and ask her if this happened. It really did. And Joe, the best friend of her husband, says, "Hey, Kelly, can I ask you a couple real estate questions? I know you've been a broker agent manager for many, many years." She goes, "Sure, feel free. I'd love to answer your questions." He goes, "Great. I just sold my house to Open Door. Can I go over the numbers with you to see if I did a good job?" I'm going to let that sink in and walk around for dramatic effect, okay? Where was the relationship? Nowhere to be seen. You want to know why? Because the relationship is no longer the most important thing. Your database, knowing that you could put more money in their pocket, is the most important thing. Now check this out, okay? Here's Joe. He just got a job transfer, let's say. Kelly thinks he's going to list with him, but he goes to work the next day, and one of his friends says, "Oh, you need to sell your house quickly? Just go to opendoor.com or Zillow.com. They'll make you a cash offer." He goes, "I didn't know I had this option. I thought I had to go with Kelly, but I don't have to go with Kelly. Didn't know that." Now, there's also a third option, this one right here. This is an agent that knows tools and techniques that the Career Compass teaches. The EAT, the PAT, the lawyer letter, the 7% technique. You must know that, okay? Things like the deal a week technique. The deal a week technique, I can show you. The Career Compass can show you a technique that you can get a listing every single week of your life, and it doesn't cost you a dime. Even in this market, it's brilliant. Okay, you got to know this stuff. So here's just 3 options. Let's talk about value, since we know and agree that value is what's going to win the day, not just a relationship. Okay, here's you. If you're putting all your eggs in the relationship basket, you've got an MLS, you've got a sign in the front yard. Okay, what does Zillow have? Zillow has a cash offer. Not bad. They've got no open houses, nobody tromping through the front yard, nobody tromping through your living room, and a fast close. What does this agent have, though? This agent uses things like the 7% technique, so she can sell the house for way more than Kelly, faster, put more money in his pocket, more money in her pocket, more money in the buyer's agent pocket, and move comps up in the neighborhood because she's using that technique. And she's got dozens more. Now, he might give Kelly what I call a pity list. What's a pity list? Not PITI, not principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. No, PITY, meaning he pities her so much, he's going to give her the listing, even though he wants to do this, okay? But he'll probably do this. So let's talk about your value. You got 0 value. Where's your incremental value? The house is worth $1 million. You sell it for $1 million. Where's your incremental value? He thinks Zillow is going to save him $30,000, but this agent is going to make him another $40,000 using these tools and techniques. So again, he might want to do this. He might give her a pity list, but he's really going to want to do this because this is a better thing. Now let me make you bulletproof for the rest of your life. Ready? If you have the relationship and you know these tools and techniques, you are unstoppable. There's nobody that can beat you. No iBuyer, no other agent. Okay? You can take me and drop me into any market in the United States, and I will compete against the top 3 agents in that market. And I will use a 7% technique and the 7% advanced extreme technique, and I will beat those other agents 98% of the time. I'm not saying that to impress you. I'm saying that if you know this, I'm saying this to impress upon you that if you know these tools and techniques, you can do the same thing, and we want you to. I mean, as I talked about Ralph Muncaster and Tony and Tasha Veruvides, okay, on their 30th listings at 7% commission against agents who are cutting their commission. Okay, this is stuff you must know, folks. You must know that this is the future of real estate. Now, let me go ahead for about 3 minutes talk about the 800-pound gorilla in the room. Ready? This, and can they become the MLS? Number 1. Here's what happens when Zillow or Open Door is the buyer. And I'm going to show you this real quick. And most of you, by the way, already have this. Okay. Okay. How do we get beef to fill on the at large board? Vote me in. I'll do it. Even though I'll do it. I'll be part of it. Okay. Revolution. Ready? Now, this technique, this tool I'm about to show you, if you're a Career Compass member, you can go and download it right this very second. Or if you're a C4 member, which every agent should be, you can get this set right to you. And it's just a video or a PowerPoint presentation, whichever you like, that you can show to your seller. Watch this. Let's just say that this house is being listed by an agent. There's an agent right there, okay? By the way, I'm going to share my screen in just a minute, okay? Now, when it's bought by a realtor, listed by a realtor, bought by a realtor, here's what happens. Here's a buyer's agent. The price is $1 million. List price is 5% commission. Full price offer from the buyer's agent, because that's all you're getting these days, okay? How much commission is due? $50,000. So to the seller is $950 before expenses, because they're all about the same. This is a normal listing presentation and a normal sale listed by an agent, bought by an agent, okay? However, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, here's what happens if you're considering using Open Door or Zillow. Here's your list price again, $1 million. Here's your commission, 5%. Okay, full price offer from Zillow and Open Door, which normally you won't get. Usually they're going to buy the house at a discount, as you guys all know. Usually Open Door and Zillow buy houses at 3 to 30% below its comp value. But let's just say, for comparison reasons, you get $1 million. Now, see this right here? That's $75,000. One of the things that came out in the debates we had with Open Door on our stage is that they have these things called service charges or relationship fees. I don't even know what that is. What's a relationship fee? Okay, you know what a relationship fee is? I think it's the term that my ex-wife's lawyer used when I got divorced. Mr. Wellington, we have a relationship fee for weddings. Okay, for marriages. You know what the number one cause of divorce in this country is? Marriage. There you go. Okay, back to this. I'm kidding, folks. I'm kidding. I'm messing with you. I got divorced a few years ago, but now I just lease. All right, back to this. No, my wife and I were happy for 20 years, and then we met. Back to this. So here's our $75,000 because the average service charge, relationship fee, that the average iBuyer charges is 7.5%. Now, for those of you bad at math, that's way more than what you charge. So now you think, as a realtor, that the 5% commission goes away because it's being replaced by the 7.5, right? So you think your seller's getting $925? Wrong. That's not what they do. The 7.5% commission that they charge goes straight to them, the entire thing. It does not cover the listing commission. She has got to go back to her seller for her 2.5% on this side. So even if you get a full price offer from Zillow, you're still paying a 10% commission. Now, let's apply the numbers to what you might really get from Zillow, which is like $920, because the average iBuyer buys, like I said, 3 to 30%, but the average is 8% below comps. So let's apply the 8% discount. So the offer from Zillow and Open Door is $920. I'm going to show you this screen. I'm going to share it in a minute. Okay. Now, $69,000. That's their 7.5%. So you think your seller's getting $851? Wrong-o, because you still have to be paid on the listing side, right? So now, apples to apples comparison right here. $828 versus $950. This is an apples to apples comparison. So what's the difference? $122,000 difference. Mr. and Mrs. Seller, are you willing to part with $122,000 of your $1 million house just for the convenience of selling it to Open Door or Zillow? Now, I think we're going to go ahead and share my screen really quick so you see the picture of this, so I can kind of go over it so you can see the numbers. So if you look at this screen, this right here, you look at this is an apples to apples comparison to selling it with realtors versus selling it with an iBuyer. Do we have that? Do we have that one? Can we share it? Anytime soon? Oh, there we go. Here we go. All right, so everybody see this? Now, look at the top box that has realtor, right? Here's the list price, $1 million. Okay, your commission's 5%. You get a full price offer, which is $1 million. 50% commission is due. So what's due back to the seller? $950. Okay, that's a normal transaction. However, let's look at the left. Let's look at the second box and the left side of the second box. Bought by Open Door or Zillow. The list price is $1 million. The listing commission used to be 5%, but that goes away because they're charging that 7.5%, 2 lines down, the average service charge. So now $1 million minus 75,000 is 925. However, the catch is that $75,000 goes all to Zillow and Open Door. Meaning you think that your seller's getting 925, they're not, because that listing agent has to go back to her seller and get her 2.5% on that side. So thus, even in the best case scenario, the seller's getting what? 900. Now let's look at what would happen in a normal transaction when Zillow and Open Door buy the house at a discount, a typical average of 8%, which is a $920,000 offer. Then they take out their 7.5%. This is on the right over here. So you think your seller's getting $851? Wrong-o, because you still have to be paid. There's your $23,000, which is 2.5%. So what the seller's really getting is $828. Now look at the difference between an average iBuyer purchase and a purchase by the realtor. The difference is $122,000 difference out of the seller's pocket. All right, let's go ahead and unshare that real quick, and I'm gonna give you the last little part of this. Now, 95% of your sellers, when they see this, are gonna go, okay, forget it, I'm not using an iBuyer. See how valuable this tool is? 5% will say, well, gee whiz, I had no idea about Zillow and Open Door. So what I'm gonna do is, since I'm not gonna use an iBuyer, I'm not gonna use a buyer's agent, I'm gonna use an iBuyer, why don't I just do this? Why don't I just go straight to the iBuyer and get rid of you and your commission? Now it'll be more profitable to the buyer or to the seller, won't it? No. Watch this. even with no realtors involved. Because here's what some of you are going to do. Some of you are going to go into the listing presentations and go, well, iBuyers are cheaper, but I'm better. Wrong. Let me prove it to you. Even if you got a full price offer from Open Door and Zillow, it's still $25,000 more expensive to go with an iBuyer. And on a realistic offer from those two companies, it's $99,000 more expensive. So what you just did with this tool, you just proved that of course you're better as a realtor than iBuyers, but you're also less expensive. You can now prove numerically that that realtors are the highest value, lowest cost option to sell a house. Now you have a tool to do that. Connie, what do you think of that one? Love it? I'm sure she loves it. She's probably muted. That's okay. So this right here, again, is download. This is just one technique, guys, of the hundreds that we teach at the Career Compass. Let me give you one more. This right here is what's called the How Should I List spreadsheet. What this does is all you do, okay, where do I find that? Don't worry, at the end, we'll show you exactly how to get, everybody here will be able to get this stuff. Stick around to the end. We'll show you all of this, okay? Don't worry. Just sit tight. We're going to give you tons of good stuff, okay? Thank you, Michael. All right, now, all you do is take this spreadsheet, which is downloadable if you're a Career Compass member from all of our websites, okay, which is 2, okay? Put the comp value right there. Then you put what they owe on their mortgage right there and hit enter. It automatically calculates their equity, but it also calculates how much money they would get going with their 3 different options of that equity. So how much of your equity, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, would you get if you went with an online platform? And it gives you a range. Then going with an average realtor and a range, and then going with you using the 7% technique, which is the first thing we're going to be teaching you. So let me go ahead and show you how this works. If you look up at the top left, you see $1 million. That's the comp value of the house. The second box is how much they owe on their mortgage, including all liens. So how much they owe. If you put those 2 numbers in and hit enter, it automatically calculates their equity, of course. But it also calculates the range that they would put in their pocket based on the 3 options that they could do. Number 1, an online platform. So an online platform, as you can see, would, on average, because all the formulas are already put in here, would return to the seller anywhere between 100 to 330 of their equity. Not a good option. Look at the middle box shows the middle box is some other realtor other than you. That realtor, based on how good they are and what they do, will return anywhere between 302 to 397. Now look at the green box. This is you using the 7% technique, which we will absolutely teach you like the back of your hand. It will change your career. You return 339 to 433. Look at the 3 options. It makes the seller go with you. This is for the end of your listing presentation. All right, so let's go ahead. Yeah, C4 is option. Colin's like, C4 is option. That is awesome. Yes, it is. It is. Okay. Now, let me show you something else. This is what we call a crush sheet. So at the beginning of your listing presentation, you show them that video that compares the $75,000 and everything else like that. That will get rid of any desire they have to use an iBuyer. Then at the end of your listing presentation, you basically show them that spreadsheet I just showed you. That's called the exclamation spreadsheet. You get say, folks, based on this, how do you want to get started? You want to list with me tonight? Let's go ahead and get started. Go ahead and sign on the line that is dotted. However, during the listing presentation, if anytime they say, well, I'm thinking about using Open Door or Redfin or Rex or Zillow, here's what you do. You pull out your crush sheets. So for example, if they want to use Zillow, you simply just show that you pull this out and show exactly how Zillow's instant offer program works and how much money it costs them over you. So this right here sums up the entire thing. Like for example, on a $500,000 house, the average that Zillow would return to them after all fees and commissions and all this kind of stuff, $418,000. Could you imagine that? $100,000 less than what you'd sell it for. That's unbelievable. So you've got the Zillow crush sheet, you've got the Home Bay crush sheet, the Really crush sheet, the Redfin crush sheet, the Open Door one, the Unlocked one, the Rex one, and about 5 or 6 more. So these are going to be on your phone, your listing presentation, your computer, and maybe even on your website, showing exactly how much more expensive these companies are than you. And you can do it all numerically now. That's awesome. So with that being said, I want to go ahead and show you a 30-second video of somebody using the 7% technique. This is what you must learn if you want to be in this business. Okay, I got news for you folks. Ask anybody who's ever used the 7% technique. For example, Scott Cooper. Scott Cooper is the owner of 3 Keller Williams. I just got off the phone with him maybe a week ago. He just closed 3 properties using the 7% technique and has already gotten 3 additional referrals from other people, 2 other people for more listings because of an amazing thing, the amazing thing he did. He did something very similar to this. Watch this.
But listen to this. We just had a sale of a house that you have, Phil, right?
Yes.
All right. Well, tell the folks what happened to you by applying the 7% technique.
We had a house that was for sale for $500,000. We had no offers on it. We had the client agree to the 7% price because I told him there would be a buying frenzy if we could get the price up to 7%. Within 1 hour after putting the 7% listing on the MLS, we had 10 calls on it, and we got an all-cash offer between the people who wanted to buy it of $595,000 closed escrow in 1 day.
Here's what you're thinking. Oh, that's because of the interest rates. This was before the interest rates. See that video? That was at the end of 2019, before any of the interest rates kicked in. This is a house that they could not sell. They took it off the MLS, put it back on the MLS using the 7% extreme technique. You must learn this. Within 1 hour, that technique got 3 offers, 580, 585, 595. Now imagine this. Imagine if this had been during the pandemic. He would have gotten $650 for that house on a $500,000 house. This is what I'm talking about when we talk about real value. This is what I'm talking about. Can you imagine? Okay, check this out. Do you think that the seller of that house will ever use anybody but Bill to ever sell a house again? Never. They'll never use an iBuyer. They would never think about going anywhere but him. And they'll make their friends and family go to him. That's real value. That's the future of real estate right there. Now, I'm going to prove it to you. Can Zillow become the MLS? Here we go. In my own example that I just showed you, okay, where we had this lady listing the house, you're probably thinking this, okay? Look, she sold the house, but she's still got a commission, $23,000, right? Even though she sold the house to Zillow, doesn't make any difference. She still got a commission, and Zillow said they're going to put it on the MLS with a commission. So a buyer's agent is going to see the house, and they're going to buy the house. He's going to get a 2.5% commission, 25 grand. Look, Wellington, everything's fine. Sure, Zillow's going to insert themselves into the middle of the transaction each time, but us realtors are not going to be put out of business. We're going to get our commissions. That's what Zillow wants you to think. Here's what's really going to happen. Ready? Now, for those of you who are on this call because, gee, what about our MLS and our car and our NAR? Hey, are we protected? You're not. Watch this. Do you think that Zillow does not know they already have all the buyer eyes on their website? They have more buyers that go to their website than any other website in the state, in the entire U.S. combined. Okay, all the buyers are there. Don't you think they know that? They know that. So do you think they want to buy houses from realtors through the MLS? No, they want to buy them themselves right from the buyer. They want to acquire listings because they're a brokerage, and they want to take your listings from you. And I just showed you that with that little discussion we had about the Seattle realtor. They're violating the code of ethics. We know this. So if they buy it straight from the buyer or get your listing or just list it, you're gone. So is your commission. But they're still going to put it in the MLS, Wellington. Are they really? Now, let's think about this for a second. If they are Zillow and they know they have all the buyers already, do you think they're really going to put it on the MLS before they try to sell it through their own website? Of course not. Why would they? Okay, so in other words, by the time it gets to the MLS, if it gets there, it's table scraps because they already have all the buyers. Why put it on the MLS? So in the beginning, at least in the beginning, they're going to get rid of the MLS and the commission, which basically eliminates the buyer's agent because there's no commission and his commission goes away. So now the buyer goes straight to Zillow. So it goes from the seller to Zillow to the buyer. No listing agent, no buyer's agent, no MLS, no car, no NAR. That's reality. Now, if your database knows that you can do things like the 7% technique and put more money in their pocket than any other way of selling, it stops this whole process from happening because your database goes, well, I'm definitely going to my realtor because they can do things like this and the EAT and the PAT and all the other techniques that we're going to teach you. If you can do this, it stops this whole process before it starts. That's how you protect your career. because I got news for you, folks. CAR and NAR are not going to save you. You must save yourself. And that's why we are Career Compass, and that's why we invented C4 and our seminars to help you, okay? And that's exactly what, for the next 5 minutes, I'm going to show you, okay? So give me 5 minutes, and this will change your career. And by the way, for those of you like, oh, this could be some big expensive thing. Not at all. Nothing like that. No chance. Ready? Watch this. Now, many of you already know about our award-winning seminars we do every month at 5-star locations. Many of you are probably in this picture. This is a Pechanga. We have a great time. We do one of these seminars every single month, month after month, in California at great 5-star locations, okay? It's awesome stuff. Now, here's the thing. We can't do these seminars in 2021 because even though Gavin Newsom says he's going to open the state up in June, he's not going to open it up to things like this. This is considered super spreaders or something. I don't know what it is. But we're not going to be having these in California, but we are having them in Reno and Las Vegas. There you go. Here you go. Christopher's like, yeah, I love this stuff, okay? Reno and Las Vegas this year. Then next year, we'll be, yeah, guys, it's a total party. Okay, it's an absolute party. You learn great tools and techniques, great networking, open bar, yes, free drinks. Okay, get your license renewed through our third-party affiliate company. Have the time of your life, and once you go to our seminar one time, you never pay to come back again. It's free for life. How awesome is that? So we're going to have those in Las Vegas and Reno this year. Then next year, we'll be back to California locations. And many of you know about our greatest hits products as well. All the tools and techniques we've ever taught, like drinking from a fire hose, those are available too. However, here's what we found out. We found out there's 2 types of training in the state of California. Things like the Career Compass, which is great tools and techniques, the Deal a Week technique, the 7% technique, the Lunch Bunch, the EAT, the PAT, the Lawyer Letter, all this great content that makes you a better realtor. But we've never had coaching. We've never had a system. Okay. And by the way, we don't do coaching. Okay. We've never had a system, though, to move all these great content into your daily life. Now, opposed to other seminars, and by the way, I'm not bashing on any other seminar. Get all the training you can. All training is great training. Okay. Tom Ferry's a great guy. Brian Buffini's a great guy. Mike Ferry's a guy. And there's lots of other people out there. So, okay. So, but here's most of what they teach: mailers, cold calling, door knocking, and bothering your database at Thanksgiving. So in other words, there's really no content you don't already know. But they say, hey, pay us $1,000 a month and we'll get you into coaching, right? So is coaching really the answer? It really isn't. So what's the answer to this? The answer is C4. Many of the people on this call are already part of this, and they are raving about it. This is not a coaching program or anything else like that. This is a new community of realtors. And there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them. And we have 27,000 members who are now part of a new community of benefits and things that you get every single month that you must have if you want to be in this business. Let me show you what it means. So in other words, it stands for Career Compass Concierge Connection, a complete suite of benefits you get every single month. And it's amazing. Now watch this. So in other words, we have our main seminar, but we also have now something called C4. We have these 2 products, okay? Now, let me go over everything that happens every month in C4 that you must be part of. So, number 1, just like regular coaching, which this is nothing like that, every month you get 2 live sessions. The first one will be an hour and a half to 3 hours. It's amazing, with what we call mentoring with masters. 6 of the best real estate trainers in the history of this entire country right here. This man's got 42 years of experience, okay? This guy right here, Jason Gordon, I think he's on the call. Jason, are you on the call? Okay. This man right here will teach you how to get actual, he is on the call. Fantastic. We're going to talk to you in a second. Actual divorce lawyer, divorce listings, not lawyer listings, but divorce listings. In other words, there's a process of you can actually get divorce judges in the divorce decree to say that you have to be the listing agent. Amazing, isn't it? Jason, would you like to say a couple of notes about not only, and Jason also teaches you about lending, mortgage, money, and everything. He's the best man in money, and he's one of our master coaches that's going to be helping you. So Jason, a couple of comments on that.
Yeah, thanks, Beef. Hi, folks. Just real quick, it's obviously a process to get to the divorce community. We definitely partner with some of the industry's best to help provide data for you. One of our ongoing co-presenters at the Career Compass is Laurel Starks, who literally wrote the book on the topic. She is, in some areas, I won't say the areas of town, she is the queen of the family courts. And I would feel sad for any of you trying to compete with her for family law business because she is completely cornered the market. But we do teach you a lot of techniques on just understanding how to partner on an ongoing basis with family law attorneys, with other members of the divorce team. And it's just one of many niches we do. But since you brought that up, I'm just answering the question.
Absolutely. Thank you, Jason, for that.
You got
Okay,
it, bud.
so for example, that's Jason Gordon. He's one of our master trainers. He probably the best guy I've ever met when it comes to lending, mortgage, divorce, things. Amazing guy. So he's going to be one of your mentors. We also have Donna Brady. She's on the call. She'd like to show herself to be fine. Donna is actually one of the industry experts on website creation, social media, and Google searches. It's amazing stuff. We did a session a couple of months ago with her, and people were like, "Oh my God, I had no idea I need to do this." Actually having a website that works, a social media platform and campaign that works. Hey, this guy right here is Jim Zers. He works for us. Jim Zers is the #1 trainer in the state of California, teaching realtors how to get into the senior market. The senior market. That's the biggest gold mine there is. Guys, this is the baby boomers and older. They own everything. And guys, this isn't, ladies and gentlemen, this isn't people who are buying houses. They're selling. They're listers. The average person who's gone through Jim Zers's training adds 6 transactions to their yearly volume. Amazing. Okay? Bill Kanoki, the #1 tax advisor and tax preparer for realtors in the entire state of California. So you get all 6 of these people every month, okay, for a live 1.5 to 3 hour Zoom session that you can talk to them, ask them questions, back them up. It's amazing. It's all recorded right for you so you can review it. It's amazing. So that's your first session every single month. Your next session every single month is what we call Learning with Legends. This will blow your mind. Every month, we bring in one of the greatest realtors in the history of real estate. Let me give you a couple examples. This is Marguerite Crispillo. Unbelievable. She's done 4,000 transactions in her life. Literally, we got done with the session with her, and we repeat them, so don't worry. We got done with the session back in April with her, and we had people on C4 standing up, clapping like this. Amazing. She's done over 100 deals every single year for over 20 years. This guy right here is Tom Daves. He's in the top 10 of all realtors in the state of California. He'll be your mentor master, your Learning with Legends, in June. Amazing. Can you imagine all these people live? And these are live Zoom calls with these people telling you exactly how they've been so successful in real estate. So not only are we going to teach you our tools and techniques, we're going to bring you the greatest realtors and the greatest managers every single month live. So that's your second session. Now, #3, every year, you get a one-on-one tune-up of your business. So we know where you're going, where you were, and make sure that what you're doing, the tools and techniques that you're incorporating, work best for you. Amazing. #4, we have MOD, Masters on Demand. Watch this. This is a system where you can call anybody in our master group and talk to them anytime you want about the tools and techniques you're using. No coaching company in the world has that. It's amazing. I just got off the phone just yesterday with a lady who wanted to contact, okay? And she called up, she wanted to talk to me, so I'm flattered by that. Wanted to talk to me how to approach this lady who she helped rent a house for, who's now in the market for a $2.5 million house, and how she could draft a letter and an email to this person to make sure that she's the buyer's agent when this happens. So we spent about 20 minutes on the phone, and I helped her develop a letter and an email exactly to that person to make sure that she was the presumptive buyer's agent, letting them know that here's why you need to buy, here's how you need to buy, here's what you should be being able to do, why the inventory is different at that price point, all this good stuff, and basically getting her permission to start looking for houses for them. It was amazing. Okay? Just an example. That's just one example. So you have Masters on Demand. Now, #5, a complete library of all the tools and techniques that you can't learn anywhere else. This is one of the most valuable things you'll ever have. All the sessions with our mentors and all the sessions with our legends are recorded along with all the tools and techniques and are available to you at any time, 24/7. And repetition is the mother of mastery, folks. So you got that. #6, this one will blow your mind. Ready for this? Actual referrals to your business. Referrals to your, not leads, deals. You, as a C4 member, get a listing booster account. Now, what does that mean? What does Listing Booster do? Listing Booster was invented by the National Real Estate Post, a partner company of ours. This is a system that takes your current listings and puts them on television, puts them on TV. It's called Key Boom. So people can see your listings on television. It actually moves your listings up in all the social media, and as well as giving you referrals from the system as well. So you're going to get referrals. It's going to move your current listings up. It does amazing things. And you get that just for being part of C4. That is awesome. Now, number 7, at our live events, you get reserved seating right up front. Awesome. Right up front, roped off area with special VIP benefits, all this stuff. And by the way, you can pay hundreds of dollars if you went to Tony Robbins or Tom Ferry or Mike Ferry to be up front in the roped off session. You get that included, no cost. Number 8, at all of our live events, you will get a private C4 cocktail reception with not only the C4 members, but also your legends and your mentor masters. When was the last time you were in a mentoring/coaching program where you got to meet the legends and the masters who are actually teaching you? Never happened. It's amazing. Number 9, let me ask you this. Ready for this? If I Google your city and the word realtor, where would you show up on a Google search? Let me show you what's now going to happen. Okay, you'll have a complete profile on our website. So there's your information. There's a little bit about your business. This is a video of you doing real estate. Well, what that does, that changes your search algorithms, also known as metadata. So you as a realtor will show up higher on Google searches. We've already tested it. It's amazing because you're going to have a complete profile on one of the biggest websites in real estate, which is the Career Compass. We get tens of thousands of hits every single month. So you're going to be getting a higher search Google and search results when people Google realtors. That alone is worth being in C4. And the last thing, but certainly not the least thing, you will get your Department of Real Estate license renewed, as well as your car and NAR ethics certificate done pretty much for you. We have a system where our third-party affiliate companies come in and walk you right through the entire thing. Let me ask you a question. What is 45 hours of your time worth? Okay, a lot of money. That's how much it's worth. Well, with our system, you don't have to do any of that arduous studying or anything else like that. It's simple, easy, quick, and fun. And our CE partners, our third-party affiliate companies will come in and do it right for you, okay? Walk you right through it, help you out all the way through, okay? Get it done quickly, easily, as quick as easy as you possibly can at no cost to you whatsoever. Free for you for life. Now, these 10 things are, this is enough to be in this for life. But let me ask you a quick question. What do most coaching programs cost you? $1,000, $1,000 a month. Forget that. That's amazing. That's unbelievable. And most coaching don't have any of this stuff. The least expensive group coaching we ever found was $300 to $500. That's insane. I want to show you this. If you're texting or looking away, I want your career is about to flash right before your eyes right here. Ready for this? All of these benefits, all of this, every single month brought to you right on a silver platter, in person and online for $19 a month. Not $1,900, which it should be, and not $19,000, which is what it's worth. $19 a month. No initiation fee, no hidden fees, no nothing. And by the way, there's no contract of any kind. If you want to quit, you can quit anytime you want, but you never will. You never will. $19 a month, that's as much as a beer in a bar for 2 people. But that cost, you get all of these benefits every single month, guaranteed. And you can quit anytime you want, but I guarantee you never will. Ready for this? At that price, one closing pays for it for 66 years. One additional closing pays for this program for the rest of your life. Amazing. Okay, there is no decision-making process on this. Okay, there's no contract whatsoever. Now, here's how it works. You sign up today, and by the way, right here, I want you to everybody open the chat box. There's a link in there right now. You can click right now. Okay, as soon as you sign up, you'll get an email welcoming you to the program. Guys, $19, that's unbelievable. That's nothing. Okay, your downside is $19. Your upside is your entire career. Unbelievable, right? About a week later, you're going to receive this official packet right here. This is the C4 official welcome packet, guys. And I know what you're thinking. Is this a replacement for CAR and NAR? You know what? It's not. It's a complement to NAR and CAR, and every realtor needs it. And I think that everybody on this call would agree with that. So you'll get a complete description of the entire program, as well as descriptions of all your mentor masters and all your legends. Then about a couple days after that, you'll actually start to getting text right on your phone of when the next C4 session will be. It's amazing. You'll also get emails, for those of you who read your emails, of when the C4 sessions are going to be, both legends as well as the C4 one. And by the way, the C4 session every month is on the 4th day of the week, which is Wednesday, on the 4th week of the month at 4 p.m. for C4. Doesn't get any better than that. And the Learning with Legends, those bounce around based on the schedule of the legend that we're having in that month. But usually it's going to be around the same time too. Then every once in a while, you're going to be getting phone calls. Pick it up. It's a referral. That's a deal, guys. You're going to need that. Okay. So here's how it works. There's that spreadsheet I was talking about right there. There's that video I was talking about. Just a couple tools and techniques that we went over. Here's the crush sheets. Here's just 1, 2, 3 different tools out of over 100 that we're going to be teaching you. This is your success program for life. How do you get involved? Here's how you get involved. Right up here in the chat box, there's a link. Or you can scan this QR code or go to thecareercompass.com. The Career Compass, 3 words, thecareercompass.com. But the best way is to hit the link right here in the chat box. Now, before I quit, I want to basically tell you a couple things. Here's Debbie Baptiste, who was on this call earlier today. Here's basically what she said. She had a consultation with Bill Kanoki about her taxes. Normally, that consultation would cost $1,000. It's completely free because she was a C4 member, and it completely changed how she's going to file taxes. She not only did that consultation cost her nothing, but it's going to save her tens of thousands of dollars on her volume in taxes every single year. That paid for her C4 membership for the rest of her life many times over. Okay. Okay. Just give you a couple examples of the kind of things that if you, by the way, if you make more than 40, let me give you a little tip. If you make more than $40,000 a year and you are not a subchapter S corporation, you are absolutely walking away from tens of thousands of dollars in taxes you could be saving. It's all legal, and that man right there will be one of your mentor masters showing you how to do this, either online during one of your sessions or on a personal call right to him. It's amazing. That comes right with C4. Okay? Jim Zers, the average senior market trained agent, adds 6 transactions a year in addition to what they normally do every single year. Jason Gord, you just saw him, okay? Divorce judge training. The average divorce trained agent, I looked this up, has $142,000 higher income. This is what I'm talking about. So if you're gonna incorporate your business into the divorce market, which is a huge market, there's the man who can train you on it. It's amazing. And it's a process, but you got to learn it. Okay? Donna Brady, keywords in websites. Okay, increase your Google reputation. Internet marketing that actually works. This lady will fix your website, change your social media, and move you up. And by the way, you actually get me as well, yours truly. And here's what I will teach you, okay, because I'm one of the trainers here. I will teach you the 7% technique, the 7% extreme technique, okay, the deal a week, the EAT, the PAT, and 100 more techniques that most realtors have never learned in their lives. Most coaches don't even know this. We have coaches, actual real estate coaches in C4 who learn our stuff and take it to their clients. Amazing. We are the coach of coaches. Who do you want mentoring you? Exactly, right? Exactly. So there you go. Now, we have 2 products that we're talking about today, okay? We actually have 3, but we're talking about the 2 main ones. The first one is $19 a month. No initiation, no additional charges of any kind, $19 a month for everything that I talked about. All 10 of those benefits I went around, $19 a month, no contract, quit anytime you want, but you never will. This is a program that you will keep for the rest of your life because it will pay for itself thousands of times over coming and going, and we guarantee that. And we have our lifetime membership at our live events, okay, which is basically you pay for it once, you never pay for it again. You get to come to any of the live events you want. And however, it's $195. But if you're going to be in C4, you get this for $99. You get it for half price. So ready for $99 plus 19, you're in the Career Compass on both products, live events as well as the online C4 program forever. Amazing. That is amazing stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and open it up to questions. But what I want you to do, guys, is open the chat box somewhere up here. Open your chat box and click the link to join C4. This is the most important thing you'll ever have in your career. We promise it and we guarantee it. Did you like the training today? Because this is just a teeny little taste of the training that we give our agents every single month, both on C4 and on the live seminars. This is real estate, guys. This isn't door knocking and cold calling and sending out your mailers. This is real tools and techniques that make a difference in today's market and will save your career coming and going into the future. We must do this. We must do this. All right. And by the way, it's the newest community. Now think about this. Think about being in C4 and networking with all these agents and then going to our live events and seeing all of them. Think about a community that you're part of every single month that guarantees your success that costs you next to nothing. That is what we're doing here. The C4 program and the Career Compass Live seminars are things that every single realtor should do. This business needs this. This business needs this. And boy, you need this and we need you in our club. That's why there's so many people on this call today that are already part of both. but you don't have to buy both. You can buy just one of them or just the other one, whatever you want to do. Okay. Now, do we still need NAR and CAR? Well, we'll see. We'll see. That's my answer to that. Okay. And C4 is open to all, to everybody. No matter who you are, where you're from, doesn't matter what kind of real estate professional you are, whether you're licensed, unlicensed, hey, whether you're a buyer's agent, listing agent, whether you're in Florida or New York or Chicago or here, doesn't matter where you are, doesn't matter who you are, this club, this community, this concierge connection is open to all, and all should be part of it. This is the future of real estate. You are going to meet so many people and learn so many great tools and techniques as part of this program. It's going, at the end of your career, you will say, this is one of the most valuable things you've ever had. So I want to go ahead and click the link up top, folks. Click the link. Okay. Go to our website, sign up for $19, $19. Okay. You can quit anytime you want, but you never will because it's so awesome. And by the way, if you hate it, we'll refund that $19, but you never will. We had, by the way, just last week, we had a session of Learning with Legends. Okay, this is going to blow your mind. Right? I got to say this. We had Robert Weichelt and Lori Hallquist on the call. Lori Hallquist from Remax Groupie up in Lodi explained something that even I, had not ever heard of before. Ready? It's options. Options as a buyer through the seller. So in other words, you're making an option on the house. It ties the house up. It incentivizes the seller. It's amazing. I never even heard that. People were in the comments were like, wow, I can't believe I've never done this. This is amazing. It was unbelievable. An option. It is one of the best ways I've ever seen to get your offer accepted. Oh my God. It's a tremendous tool. Did we record it? We sure did. Do you get to watch it? You sure do. Okay. Then Robert Weichelt blew everybody away with how to get FSBOs to list with you at no cost to them, and you still earn a 6% commission. Yep. It's amazing. It was one of the best sessions we ever had. People were like, wow, this is amazing. It went on for 2 hours. It was unbelievable. And it's sitting there waiting for you to watch it as a member of C4. These are the kind of sessions we have. If you're not part of this, you've lost your minds, guys. This is the future of real estate. We're not talking about cold calling and door knocking. I mean, can you imagine that? Options on buying a house ties up to this is how to get your offers accepted. Having problems with that? We'll fix that. That's amazing. This is amazing. All right. So anyways, my point is click right up top here, open the chat box, go to, and click the link, or go to The Career Compass. 3 words, thecareercompass.com, or just click the link. Okay. And yes, but the answer to the question was, can you get recording? Yes. There's so much more in there. It's amazing. All right. I'm going to open it up to questions. Do we have any questions? Any quick questions about, I guess I answered a couple of them. Okay. So basically, yes, the answer is all the training, all the things are all recorded, and we repeat these trainings live. So you'll get this live every single month. Okay. You're going to be part of this community, and you're going to get this live every single month. And you can always go back to the old ones if you want to review. It's an amazing system. With regular coaching, you get two 30-minute sessions with a guy that probably doesn't have any background in real estate. Okay. And if you forget what he said, it's too bad. This is nothing like that. This is a whole new way of doing real estate, and every realtor should be part of it. Okay. And yes, the question that we had is, can you get a copy of that? You absolutely can. All the stuff that I talked about is available right on our websites to any Career Compass member or C4 member or both. All right. Any last comments or questions that we should address?
And everyone, also feel free to ask any comments about the presentation today. If anybody has any questions, concerned, or anything, let us know.
Okay, here's a question from Fortunato. Okay, yes, Donna Brady is one of your 6 Master Mentor coaches. She absolutely is. Donna Brady, who you're hearing her voice, is the person who invented from scratch, guys. Ready for this? We have some of the best websites in real estate. CareerCompass.com and C4Connection.com. And Donna Brady, the lady the voice you're hearing, invented and created those websites completely from scratch. And they're some of the best websites. She can help you do that. She can also help you with your social media, as well as your internet presence and everything else like that. Yes, she is one of your master mentors, and she's the best in the business. That's a good question. I like that. Very good question. Anything else?
Hey, Beef, I had a quick question about your 7%.
Sure.
we represent the seller side. How do we ethically prevent an iBuyer or Glassdoor or somebody else, they make an offer on your stuff?
Okay, you can't prevent an iBuyer from making an offer on your house. Okay, however, with the 7% technique, you're going to have offers that are going to blow away any offer you're going to get from an iBuyer. An iBuyer is, okay, the 7% technique is a way of listing that puts more money in your pocket, the seller's pocket, and the buyer's agent pocket, pushes the price of the house up, increases the equity of the house, increases the comps in the area. iBuyers can make all the offer they want on that house. Okay, they can contact the seller and say, hey, we'll give you this much. It's never going to be even be close to the offers that you're getting using the 7% technique. So that's the key point here, is 99.9% of the time, the iBuyers are buying houses below comps. That's what they're doing. That's what they do. Every once in a while, they give a full price offer, but I've never seen an iBuyer go above list price. So that's very, very unlikely. The chance of an iBuyer going above list price is going to be very unlikely. However, let's just say they do. In the crazy case that they do, let's say they go above. Let's say on $1 million house, they go to $1,050,000. Okay, fine. Well, guess what? As the listing agent, you are still going to be getting your full 3% on that side when they buy it, unless the seller decides to basically cut you out and go straight to the iBuyer, which, that's just something they can do. But my point is, let's say that during that time, even if an iBuyer bought it, if you had a commission override clause built into the note section of your contract, not only you're getting your 3%, but you're getting your override as well. And for those of you on this call, if you do not know what commission override clauses are, please join C4. Please invest $19 and we will teach you that. That one little detail alone is worth being in C4 the rest of your life. I guarantee you. That will blow your mind. We're talking about tens of thousands of dollars of extra commission that the seller wants you to have. So, any other quick questions or comments on that? Or any comments about Zillow? Any comments about CAR and NAR? Guys, this is a controversial subject we're talking about here. And I also want to thank Connie Lynch for being on the call. I really appreciate that. I'll give you a call and we'll have lunch, Connie. But my point is with this, about CAR and NAR, this is the real world. Do we have anybody that would like to make comments about them Zillow violating the code of ethics and the fact that anybody making a comment, and by the way, she said something about that not anybody can just get their feelings hurt. Well, I actually think that's not true. If somebody feels that something that you said violates the code of ethics, they can request a hearing. Now, can you win your hearings? Sure. But the fact that you're there alone is a violation of, in my opinion, the First Amendment of the Constitution. But here's the thing. You could also lose your hearing, just like that pastor who said things that some people didn't like. And he has violated the code of ethics. And I don't know, but I'm going to follow up. What was his punishment? Did he lose his license? He might have. Or that might be in the process. So that's and I know that CAR and NAR cannot revoke your license, but CAR and NAR can certainly put pressure on the DRE to revoke your license. And guys, their associations with the DREs are strong and long. Take it from me. Okay. Career Compass has been dealing with this for 13 years. I got news for you. All right. I won't get into that subject, but it's been okay. Let me assure you, there is an alliance between CAR and NAR and the DREs. Make no mistake about it. And I am living proof of it. All right. Any other questions?
Beef, there was a question. Do these techniques work to get commercial real estate listings or only residential?
Okay. Good question. Out of the 112 different techniques, and let me show you this real quick. Right. Out of 112 different techniques on the greatest hits, okay, whether they be on the discs or whether they be on the flash drives, okay, you get all the formats or downloads. I would say that about 70%, probably 7 out of every 10, would also translate into commercial real estate, but not all of them. Some of them are very specific just to residential real estate. So I'll be very, very honest with you and entirely honest with you in this aspect. About 7 out of every 10, you probably could translate into a commercial setting. However, there's probably about a third of them that are simply going to be specific to residential. All right, anybody else? But by the way, if you are a commercial agent, oh my God, if you're a commercial agent, join C4 and get to the seminar. Your business will explode. Every single seminar, every single session we have at C4, we always get questions. Does somebody know a good commercial agent? If you are a commercial agent, oh my gosh, even without the techniques, This is going to explode your business. If you're commercial, just click the link and get in. We need you. We have 27,000 members. Okay, we're always looking for commercial agents. So if you're a commercial agent, get into this because we have 27,000 members. So guys, do it. So yes, if you're a commercial agent, this is for you. If you're a residential agent, this is your future. Any other quick questions?
Yeah, give them your opinion on, can you still do the MLS without CAR and NAR?
Okay.
I knew you'd like that one.
Yes. Okay. Yes, you can. Here's how it works. Okay. Here's how it works. Your CAR and NAR and board membership is not reliant on the MLS. So in other words, you have two types of dues. You have dues that go to your board, CAR and NAR, and you also have MLS dues. Okay. You do not have to be a member of CAR and NAR and your local board to have a subscription at the MLS. Now, many people think you do. And here's why. Most of you are from brokerages that have an agreement with the local board, and thus CAR and NAR, that everybody that has a license under their brokerage will be a member of the board. So 95% of you are at a brokerage that has that agreement. So if your broker has a membership at CAR and NAR, you must have one. That's how it works. If your broker does not have a membership at CAR and NAR, you have the option of having one or not having one. However, you can have a subscription at the MLS and list your properties, okay, without a membership at CAR and NAR. Last time I checked, somewhere in the area of about 37% of all the licensees in the state of California were not members of CAR and NAR or their local board. But they do have a subscription at the MLS so they can list their properties and have access to the MLS. So those two things are separate. Many people think they are not. And the reason you think they're not is because they combine, okay, the dues. Oh, pay all your dues at one time. That's why you think it's combined. Even some managers think that you have to have a board membership to have a subscription at the MLS. You do not. They're three separate entities. Let me tell you the three entities. You've got CAR and NAR and your board over here. You've got the MLS over here, and you got the DRE over here. These are three separate things, okay? And they do not have anything associated with each other. Now, I know that the MLS and CAR and NAR are very tied into each other, but you do not have to have one to have the other. Those are two separate things.
But you mentioned if your broker.
Yes, if your broker has the agreement, which all the five majors do at this point at least. Okay, guys, this is, in my opinion, why CAR and NAR isn't representing you. They know you have to have a membership. What is their motivation to serve you? They don't have one. Okay, they get your business whether they're doing their job or not. So yes, if you're at a brokerage that insists that you have a membership at CAR and NAR, you have to have one. That's true. So it's your job to go to your broker and push back and say, Mr. and Mrs. Broker, you need to put pressure on CAR and say, we are going to do away with our agreement unless you start representing us. The broker is the key here. So it's your job as an agent to come, say I'm your broker. You need to come to me and tell me to go put pressure on CAR to start representing us and quit getting in bed with Zillow. Otherwise, they're going to do away with the agreement that they have with the board and make it optional for all of their agents to either join CAR and NAR or just have an MLS. What is the difference? Okay, here's the difference. The difference is if you're part of CAR and NAR in your board, you can use the word realtor. Okay, you can use that word. If you are not a part of the CAR and NAR in your local board, you just have an MLS subscription, you are a real estate agent. Ready for this? 95% of the community in the world does not know the difference between a realtor and a real estate agent. They do not know the difference. Okay? Just like they don't know the difference between facial tissue and Kleenex. So my point is, we as realtors, we own NAR and CAR and the board. They represent us. They're supposed to represent us. Our job is to push back on our brokers, to push back on CAR and say, we have an agreement with you that every one of our agents is a member of you, but we're going to do away with that agreement unless you do something about the violations of Zillow. That's what we need to do. So, guys, for those of you who haven't been to our live seminar, please go to thecareercompass.com, thecareercompass.com. Come to Reno, come to Las Vegas, and next year come to the ones we're having here. It is eye-opening. Okay, it will change the way you think about real estate, and that's the number one comment we get. Any other quick questions? Okay, we're going to leave the chat box open. I think that our staff is pretty busy with people signing up for C4. But again, folks, this is the kind of thing that Career Compass brings. Okay, this is not softball, mamby-pamby, sugar-coated stuff. This is real world. This is the future of real estate. Okay, and it will ride with Career Compass and C4. Please be part of it. We want you to be part of our club. We want you to be part of our community. And for $19, how can you beat it? I mean, it's a drink in a bar. Thank you, Christopher Jerome. You said this is awesome stuff. I will see you very soon at the live events or at C4 or both. I look forward to seeing you. I will be your personal mentor coach for the rest of your career. Okay, you and me together, part of this community. Be part of it. Sign up. Don't break my heart. All right, folks, click up there. Good luck, good selling. We'll see you at C4 and at the live seminars. Take care.
Thank you.
Thanks, Beef.
Thank you.
Thanks, Beef.
Thank you.
Thank you all very much for joining us. If you have any questions, feel free to give us a call or shoot us an email at support, SUPPORT, at thecareercompass.com. And we'll see you all soon.
Thanks, Beef.
Thank you,
Well
guys.
done. Thank you.
You're
Well done.
welcome. Thank you.